professional. Ha, we could be on the news. You got a coaster.
Yeah.
Reporting live from VTV News. It's your girl, Vidisha. Okay. Oh, I feel so professional. And today we shall be talking about the rain in Bradenton. There's a 40% chance that it will rain on our heads at 2 o'clock until 3 o'clock p.m.
Thought that I'd be better off if I were on my own. I try to put my finger on the moment we were wrong.
Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back here with V. We're here to update you guys on everything medical school, second year stuff, and answer all your guys' questions that I've been getting in both my messages on Instagram and your comments on YouTube. I've seen them and I've tried to. Oh, it just. Is that angle okay?
It moves by itself.
Oh.
It's a ghost down here.
So I tried to get back to all of you as much as I can. If I didn't, I told you that I'd answer your questions today. So V and I both did the masters at LECOM, and so now we're both second year students. We just had an exam on Monday, so that's why this video got pushed off a little bit. We'll address the cadaver things first because that was in first year, so you'll take anatomy first for the first, how many weeks was it? 10? 9 or 10 weeks you take anatomy. I think by itself you may have some OPP lectures, you may have some clinical examination lectures, but it's mainly just anatomy.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay, and then we have lab once a week, and so we do have cadavers.
We have them. We're not in a group and we don't get our own to personally dissect by ourselves.
Yeah, you don't dissect them at all.
Yeah,
actually.
There's a little person that dissects them for you, and you kind of watch him.
Honestly, though,
basically,
it took a huge strain off our end. You don't have to like worry about getting a grade for the cadaver. You basically just go in and it's already dissected for you, and whatever you need to look at, like.
It's already there, and it's already done perfectly for you.
It's perfectly done, and they're also in there with you. So like, I think there's 4 or 5 cadavers. You just go up, you can go up to anyone you want. It's really like free floating. And
I mean, it was beneficial for some people, but we done our work outside the lab. We didn't wait till lab to do our work.
And we had done the masters, so
yeah.
we already, like the anatomy was the exact same it was in the masters as it was in med school, except for we didn't have cadavers. Like
Yeah.
we didn't get to see cadavers.
But like with the cadaver thing, I honestly think it just relieved a big weight off of us because a lot of med students spend a lot of time in the gross anatomy lab. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of time. We didn't have to do that. We focused on the lecture, the lab cases per se, and like I said, when it came to the actual cadavers, they were already done. You saw what you needed to see, whatever was going on with the block, and that was just pretty much it.
Okay, somebody else, I've gotten questions about lecture-based learning versus problem-based learning. So I'm going to give you my take because I don't like lectures at all. However, I don't think the PBL is easier. So I think lectures just take up your whole day and then you have to study on top of that. We do have lectures Tuesday, Thursday in either CE or OPP. So we do still have like maybe an hour or 2 hours of lectures. But I personally like problem-based learning because you are literally home studying all day, your own study routine, whatever you want to do, and you're in class for 2 hours.
Yeah, which means that you actually have to be disciplined to study.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
okay,
I ain't used to this. Okay. Okay, so with the lecture-based, of course, you go in there, you get a lecture. You go home, you decipher it, you figure out what you're gonna do, and honestly, you lose it and you forget it. With PBL, you get a case, you have to dibble and dabble with the basic sciences, and you're gonna constantly do that with every single case. Like, you're not gonna lose your anatomy just because you stopped anatomy. You're not gonna forget your physiology just because you stopped doing your physiology lecture class. That's the good thing with PBL. You constantly get hit with the basic sciences for every single case, every single time you have PBL. So I do think PBL is actually beneficial, and I learn more because I do like to learn on my own. In lecture, I find myself doing something else versus, because my thought is always, I can go home and look at this lecture. But in PBL, I actually take from it. So that's one good thing about PBL.
But problem-based learning, people were asking me if we get PowerPoints, if we're provided with like any sort of guidance on what's high yield. They didn't use those terms high yield because people are reading Student Doctor Network, which I also read before I came to LECOM. We don't get provided PowerPoints, we don't get provided notes, you don't get really anything. So when people say the faculty don't teach, that's because you're not at a school to do that.
Yeah.
So you don't get anything. However, there's so many resources from upperclassmen. People will send you Quizlets, and people will send you Anki, and people will send you their own sheets they make. So like you have resources within your class that you can trust, or you can make your own.
Let's see, like a typical day of PBL.
Yeah.
Let's kind of give y'all the background of PBL. So you come in.
You're in your groups of 8.
Yeah, you're in your groups.
Divide you up in.
And you have a facilitator in the corner.
That's just a teacher.
One thing about PBL, main thing is just the framework. Your group and your facilitator really kind of make the setting. You know, if you got that person, it's just like in the workplace. If you got that person that wants to take charge and doesn't want to listen to anybody else, nobody's going to be able to take from that. But if you have a group where everybody bounces ideas off of each other, which is what PBL is actually based on, because that's how it is when you're actually practicing medicine. Everybody bounces their ideas off of each other. And you have a facilitator. My facilitator currently, he's an orthopedic surgeon. He's very smart. He knows medicine. He's been through medical school. He's been through everything. So he's actually very beneficial. So he's always helping us, always trying to guide us if we do get far-fetched on something, because we're still in the learning phase. We don't know as much as we should know right now. So you have a facilitator in the corner. They're there to guide you if you need some help, to kind of push you over this way if you need to go that way, but you're basically on your own. You get a case, just like if you've ever been into the ER or something like that. Somebody will present with these symptoms and they're this age, this is what you got. So what you do from that is you basically act like you're currently doctors. You have to figure out what's going on. How do I fix it? How do I stabilize this person? But you have to do that by knowing the basic sciences. Yeah. So let's say your patient comes in with a cough and a fever. You're about to go into your microbiology book and you're about to look up all these different things that can cause your patient to cough. You're about to look up physiology behind a fever. You're about to look up the pathology. So you're going to constantly be getting hit with basic sciences while still trying to decipher, how can I help my patient? What can I do? Which is exactly like it would be if you're in an emergency medicine setting. So
yeah, what she means by basic sciences are your pathology, your physiology, your anatomy, your micro, your biochem, your pharm.
And it's not just like lecture where you get it one time and it's over, you never see it again. You don't have anything to relate it to, which is also important because you remember things better when you have something to relate it to.
Yeah.
In lecture, you get the information, you pass the information, and it's gone. You never touch back to it. Now you're about to get a patient that comes in with an MI. They're about to have a heart attack. You need to know the basic physiology of how the heart is pumping, what blood vessels supply the heart, in order to know what's going on with your patient. So you do get something to relate that information with, to make that connection in your brain so you can actually remember.
When she says that they present with, like, let's say a chief complaint, I'm having chest pain, everyone is in a different book looking up. You literally go to the index and you look up like MI, or you look up, you know, angina, coronary vessels. You look up just keywords. It guides you to chapters. You start flipping through. This is in PBL. You're flipping through the chapter and you're thinking of what's important, and then you speak up, you say it. You reference your source, you say physiology page, whatever, and I've said this in my other videos before. You have to reference so that everyone, your other 7 members, like, they know you're referencing from a textbook. Your facilitator, if we are not getting the main point, the facilitator will guide you by saying, so what all can cause that? That's how they guide. They don't teach. But a typical day for us, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you walk into PBL and you're at a point in the case, whether you're getting the chief complaint today and you're working through the physical exam, or you know, you're at the patient discharge, and you'll vote your chapters. So when that case is over, you'll pick whatever chapters you kept referencing from 9 to 10 of those, 8 to 10 of those chapters, you're gonna vote in. We send them to our PBL director, and those chapters are submitted. That's it, and then you keep going, and then you get the next case. But that's literally all we have. 2 hours in the classroom, and you come home, you
And you
digest,
learn.
and you read. People have asked me personally, like, how do you know what's the most important information?
You know.
You don't. We still don't. You don't know. There's no high yield book other than first aid, and that doesn't mean that's high yield for LECOM.
Yeah, because the tests, like you can study the high yield information, like what's going to be on your boards, but the tests still come from your readings.
Yeah.
You don't just use first aid or don't just use sketchy or something to actually study for your tests.
And no matter what people tell you, you're not going to do well just using study resources. You're not going to do well just using Quizlet or just using Anki or just watching the videos. They 100% test from your textbooks. It does not matter what any other book says is high yield.
With PBL, like Sydney said earlier,
Do you have your iPad?
I do. I have it
Okay.
because I have PBL soon after we finish this video. I don't like to live in the Stone Age. I like all my stuff on technology. I'm one of them people, if I look over and I see you studying flashcards that you written out on some 3x5 cards, I'm gonna be like, girl, it's an app for that. Like, that's me. Some people like that. I don't. I like technology. I like Apple. Shout out to Apple if you're watching this.
I like the actual tangible book. However, I've found that working at the library, which, side note, you can work at the library, the school will hire you and you get paid and you basically just study at the library, which is side note. But when I go to study or when I go to Starbucks to study, I'm carrying like 6, 7 big textbooks, like 3 that will fit in my backpack, and she has all her
this
books.
is all I have.
Yeah, so people will give you the PDF form. I got all my books for free, but I would not waste money buying textbooks. Everybody gives you access to these PDFs. Like, people will put them on your Facebook page.
My iPad, I have all of my first year books. I have first aid and I have supplemental books on here. This is what I take into PBL. Everybody else has all their books. All of mine are on here.
More people are starting to use their iPad now.
So for instance, like if we get a case or something, let's say I want to open up immunology or let's see, pathology. Okay. So there's my pathology book and I just open it up in class and I have it right in front of me if I need to reference something. There's my book just like everybody else's. And like I say, if I want to take notes, I take notes on my iPad. All of my books are on here. Any notes that I take are on here. If I want to watch sketchy or look at my USMLE book, everything is in one place. I don't have to go and pick and grab. And then if I need it transferred, it goes straight to my MacBook and it'll go straight to my iPhone if I need it. Shout out to Apple.
Can you not have a
regular
MacBook?
book.
Yeah, you can't. You can have Apple. Everybody has MacBooks.
Yeah.
But you do need a computer still because in PBL you have to type up the case. So I would still recommend if you're going to get an iPad and study your textbooks, you still need a laptop. You need a laptop. You cannot have food or drinks, not even water, anywhere in the school except for in the cafeteria. So not in the lecture halls, not in your problem-based learning rooms, not in the library. Nowhere.
It's funny, like I get on Snapchat and I see my friends at their different schools. They're in
Drinking
class.
water,
They're in
coffee.
class eating like red beans and rice and stuff and eating. No, we can't even bring this into class.
So yes, I know that people talk about that on Student Doctor Network. I don't know why I can't say that word today. You cannot.
No.
But it's not. If you're someone who studies at school, I can see where it would be annoying. It really only is hindering during long lectures because you're thirsty. They let you get water breaks.
Like I said, which we really don't have. We don't have long. Well, in first year, we were in class a lot with anatomy because that was actually lecture based. We're not there long, so it's not like we sitting there starving or very, very thirsty. But during tests, yeah, I would get water.
So just quickly, our PBL tests 4-hour exams. And that's every time you have a PBL exam. So some semesters you have 3 and some semesters you have 2. So this semester we have 3 exams and next semester we have 2 because we have boards. Yeah, so the exams are very, very long and the exams are set up as a clinical scenario. Like every single question, I think that's actually even anatomy.
What?
Like a patient presents with this in the ER. Like
some questions are those like first order questions.
Yeah.
You got a few of those, but like you're in medical school, you're not gonna get
like
a whole test
you're
of
reading
first
a paragraph.
order questions.
Yeah. So we don't get board prep, but just for people who are interested in like what we're doing in second year is right now we will be in PBL, OPP, and CE until like Thanksgiving. So actually our clinical examination course, which I haven't really talked about, but we have standardized patients. Like they're real patients, they're just paid actors. And we see them once a week. Actually, first year, I think we had like 6 encounters total. So now we come in, we knock on the door, you're in your white coat and everything, and there's a grader in there, and there's the standardized patient, and you don't know what the chief complaint is. You get in there, and it's just like being in a doctor's office. Like you go through everything, you go through history, you do a physical exam on them, and then you go and you write up a SOAP note. But we're going to be in those 3 classes, OPP, CE, and PBL until Thanksgiving break. But LECOM does throw in mini courses. So when we get back from Thanksgiving break, from November to like mid-December, we have mini courses. I don't even know what they are. I know one is a geriatrics course.
Yeah, we still take little
because
stuff
that stuff
like
is
that
all
too.
on board. So aside from the pathology, physiology, things like that, we also have to take like the behavioral science courses.
Those little small courses.
Yeah.
We still take those.
So we'll have those, and then we have a break from mid-December to like I think the 2nd week of January, maybe like the 7th or something like that. When we come back, we still have PBL, OPP, maybe CE, I'm not sure. But we go through May. Like we still have classes and exams until May. In the spring, I think we go to 2 days a week for PBL instead of 3. And then OPP and CE may be like down, like regulated.
If you ever do come to LECOM, you'll hear the whole board. PBL is board studying.
You'll hear it from everyone.
Everybody. Because, like I said earlier, you're constantly learning the basic sciences.
Pretty much, I guess you don't really believe it until you get into your 2nd year. That it's really just like
we didn't believe it either.
Yeah, you've
but
been
we've learned.
preparing and like you've been reading these textbooks that you have to know. Like you really do. You have to know all the basic stuff. If you don't know your physio book by 2nd year, we've really almost read the entire physio book.
The entire
physio
book.
If you start board studying in January, you should very rarely be seeing something you've never seen.
Yeah.
So by the time we get there, PBL, and they set our cases up so that you hit a cardio, you hit a pulmonary, you hit a kidney, you hit.
Like, what are we about to do now? We're about to start oncology now.
So they make sure you're like, so that you cover all your
Yeah.
textbooks, all of the chapters in your textbooks. Like they do that for a reason.
We've seen this stuff, we've touched on it. We don't just know the top layer of it. We know deep down into it because of PBL.
You even have basic science questions in OPP, and people, I've tried to explain OPP. That's just like that's a whole beast in itself.
I used to scribe in the ER, and I had 2 ER doctors that were DOs, and I had no clue.
Like-
and they kind of gave me a little touch on what osteopathic medicine was, and I was just like, oh, like, you know, we're always used to medical doctors just being MDs. We learn everything that the MDs learn. Shout out to my boy Dr. Quinn, because DO is MD plus.
MD plus.
Yes, because we learn everything that the MDs learn. There's not anything that they learn in allopathic school that we don't learn in osteopathic school. And this is why I say DO is MD plus. Because on top of everything that the MDs learn, we also learn osteopathic manipulation. So we got that little extra tool in our bag to use if we need it.
And not everybody uses it. You can have a DO degree, but that doesn't mean
you don't have to
you don't
practice
have to do
O&M.
anything. Yeah, you don't have to do it. It really just consists of like
Be a physical therapist.
A physical
You're
therapy.
basically
Yes.
a physician and a physical therapist slash chiropractor in one.
Yeah.
I plan to be an OBGYN. Yes, I'll probably use some of my OMM for like pelvic floor stuff, but
for sure.
I won't be cracking necks and doing all that other stuff.
She hates OPP, so
I
she's
do.
being nice right now because I'm the president of the club, but
I
she
do.
doesn't even do anything.
I do.
But
I just be
it's
like,
cool that it's
oh.
there. That's a good
She
thing.
loved OPP.
I do.
Like, she really loved it.
I be cracking everyone's neck and back. People have asked me what there is to do in Bradenton. So like life outside of school. I feel like we've lost our life, to be completely honest. We were very social. Okay, so you're in Lakewood Ranch in Bradenton, Florida. There is nothing in Lakewood Ranch. It's growing. It's growing. There's like a Panera and a Starbucks now, and an Earth Fare and
It's not a
Publix.
Popeyes.
But there's not like a mall. You have to go one exit down or one exit up, or to Tampa and St. Pete. Honestly.
Yeah, it's a real quiet, nice. It's already pretty developed, but it's kind of still growing. But
Like there's no clubs.
it's a nice place. Oh yeah.
There are no clubs. That stuff's not popping around here. You have to drive to Tampa or St. Pete, but people do it all the time. And people have asked me like, oh, what do you guys do in your free time? We honestly go to the beach. We go to Siesta Key.
I like the beach a little bit.
We got her a donut raft for her to come to the beach, and we made sure we get her an umbrella. Like we take her to the beach. We go to eat. Yeah, we go to eat. There's restaurants at UTC, which is like the big center, but there's also outlets at north of us. One exit north.
Egg like to actually go to the movies by herself.
You don't know who Egg is. You've been saying that though for real.
I don't call her. This is Egg. I don't call her Sydney.
It's because of my head. Which
Yeah,
here it looks pretty round.
Her head is very angular.
There are a bunch of clubs on campus, but like because we're not an actual campus, there's not like that much stuff that the school orients. But like you'll have SGA and just like the typical like OB-GYN club, whatever, surgery club. They do really cool suture clinics. Like surgery club will bring like a surgeon in and show you how to do suturing on like a pig foot. There are events though. LECOM does have events. Like we went to LECOM.
I'm gonna go. Y'all gonna see.
Well,
my
I guess
dress.
just to dress up.
Yeah, y'all gonna
They
see
call
my
it
dress.
LECOM, but SGA, it's like their SGA fundraiser. They just call it LECOM. Because people would be making fun of me that we got a prom in med school. They keep saying we're an undergrad. That's so demoralizing. I'm upset about that.
Right. No, you gonna see my dress. You gonna see me be cute. So I'm going to the prom.
Even if we dress up and we don't go. You
gonna see me on Snapchat.
If we didn't cover anything, let us know. But we are going to class. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up now since we finished it. Thanks for watching. If you made it through the whole thing, hopefully that answered all your questions. But yeah, so the duo is out. Bye.
Bye, guys.
This is our kid.
Oh yeah.